little bit slower, you know, where I think Trent's like, he's getting it done, you know, he's making a statement.
And also the 19, the 70, some young guns on some Yamahas are up there in the mix at DuQuoin and here.
Yeah, James, he had a win yesterday in the first round there, and very, very impressive. And, you know, I think watching him, it's like he's learning as he's going, but he's also being very successful at it as well. So big hats off to James, man. He really rode good yesterday.
Keep an eye on the 48, the big red super twin. That's Trent Lowe. Had a great day going. Unfortunately, the chain came off in that last main event, and we saw pure emotion when he won main event number 2 yesterday.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a long time coming. He's been putting a lot into it. You know, they've been struggling a little bit earlier in the season, and you know, they switched some things up, and it seems like they're coming around.
Well, they're all looking backwards right now. What are they doing? Playing cat and mouse?
I don't know. Yeah, they're looking for a drafting partner, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're all looking back. Nobody wants to drop the hammer.
I think it might be, you know, the 4 guys up looking back, so it's making the other 3 guys behind him suspicious if something's going on, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, here we go. Right here, you got Briar Bauman. Is that 44? We got B-Rob. Old Henry Wiles in the 911. Number 20, Jared.
You like the 911? That's his motocross number.
It fits him perfect, don't it?
He just needs a siren.
It just fits him so perfect.
I'm glad you said that. The 3 by Briar Bauman leads this freight train right here. Actually, second, there's a 32 kind of way out in front of this group of 4 that we got an eye on right now. Robinson's on the 44 Harley Davidson. There's Dan Bromley on a Suzuki platform. That thing's been showing some signs of promise.
Solid all year long. You know, I think he got the dash win in Ventura. Yeah, he's been riding it really well. And Dan does a good job at just jumping on something and like going good on it. You know, like no matter what it is, no matter if it's got handlebars on it backwards, it's just like he's good at just adapting and riding it, you know, to a good potential.
We had a lot of mechanical issues. We're looking at the 67 Davis Fisher. They spent most of the night getting a bike ready to go. They had an oil line come off of one. One of them looked like it completely let go. So why does that happen on this racetrack? Because you're wide open all the way around?
They've had the worst day in flat track history, I think, yesterday. They broke a lot of stuff. I feel so bad. I mean, Jimmy Wood's one of my best buddies, and he was a big key in my success of my career. And there he goes, the top of the charts, right on.
All we got to do is talk about him.
We just got to talk about him a little bit, right on. That's good to see. That's going to be really rewarding for them after their night's work. I think Jimmy went to bed at like 5 a.m.
When you're out there, say you're Davis Fisher right now, do you have any idea that was a fast lap?
No, but you can maybe feel with the big pack in front of you, you could start feeling like you're gaining on him, and you know, obviously, that you're faster than the 4 or 5 in front of you, and obviously the 4 or 5 in front of you is Briar Bauman and B-Rob, so you know you're doing something right.
Bromley's going up there by that wall. So part of the dust kicks up when they get off of turn number 2 because the water truck can't get right against that wall.
Yeah, definitely. Me and Brian Smith use that to our advantage, and sometimes right off the start we want to kick that dust up just to kind of get everybody a little frazzled.
Kind of like on some other tracks, you drag your foot maybe a little bit lower than the line and kick that dust up behind you too.
I never did that.
I'm not saying you did. I said some people. On the 19, G&G Yamaha leading this group. No, it's Wiles now back out in front on the 911. That is the first impressions KTM.
Yeah, he's adapting to it. Talking about another rider that just jumps on anything and adapts. That's Henry Wiles. He's been known to do that too, and he does a really good job at it.
He's 41 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I thought I was older. No, I'm just kidding. 41 years old. Don't they stop you at like 40 or something?
I don't know. Springer won his 43rd race when he's 43 right here. So maybe 43.
Yeah, 43.
Oh, Dallas was all kinds of sideways right there. Did you see that?
Yeah, he started to practice one yesterday as well, pretty loose. You know, I don't know if it's something that they're just waiting for the track to come around for their setup, but it does seem like in practice here, their setup is pretty loose, and he's pretty spun up.
I like that they're sending the Super Twins out first, and we'll take a look at it. Watch the 32 is the second motorcycle, so odds kind of crossed up, feet on the pegs.
Right in that little dry spot right there on the track. There it is.
Ooh, that'd be a good picture.
Yeah, that would be cool. You'd make posters out of that one.
Letting it all hang out. I do like that they're sending the Super Twins out first to kind of set the racing line, because the single riders, they like it on the bottom a little bit more. Super Twins, they like it a little bit higher.
Yeah, I've noticed the last couple of years here at the Springfield Mile, the line has formed right around the guardrail where, you know, 17, 18, 19, we were up on the racetrack a lot more. I don't know if that's just for something with the track prep, or if it's just now guys are figuring out it's faster to go around the bottom. But I noticed last year we ran right around the rail as well, where in the years previous we were way up there on the racetrack.
Yeah. Have you ever clipped the inside guardrail with your handlebar or your hand before?
A couple times. I got lucky and never sliced it open like my buddy Willie McCoy did. But
that was crazy.
Yeah, he got forced down there, I think, that day. And
yeah, we were on Live Ice Sports was covering that race, and we had a red flag, and he was just dripping, and we saw people behind him had some blood splatters on their shields. Man.
Yeah,
it was
I remember.
Nuts.
I remember being in that practice, and we had a red flag, and we were in the hot box, and he was ripping the guy who forced me down there. He was, man, he pushed me down in my glove. He was all bloody.
Of course. We get another question from the other side of the truck. So obviously it takes a while to learn different things. How long would you say it took you to learn how to race on a mile?
Quite a bit. I struggled at Springfield my very first years there. I was riding the XR, and honestly, I think the XR was a harder motorcycle to go fast on around here. It didn't accelerate the fastest, so you had to keep your momentum up a lot. And I think, for younger riders, that was something you really had to focus on, keeping your wheels in line on entering the corners, picking the throttle up early. And with the XR, if you broke the thing in half sideways in the middle of the corner, it took a whole nother lap for you to build that back up. And in that amount of time, the guy that was keeping it in line is way away from you. Where these motorcycles today, they accelerate faster. They have rev limiters, so you can kind of ride them a little bit more sideways. You can make more mistakes and gather back up quicker. But I think the experience that I had on the XR back in the day really played big dividends for this style motorcycle today. Like, you can keep your momentum up, keep your wheels in line. That is still the fastest way around the Springfield mile. And if you can, do it on today's motorcycles, I think you're going to be that much further ahead. That's why we see Jeffrey Carver still going fast today. And
on that note, you went out there and you won 30 miles. So how did you learn the strategy to be in the right place at the right time?
Yeah, I mean, you got to understand too, early in the day, you got to know that if you're the guy that can control the race, or if you got to be the guy that has to surprise the guy that's controlling the race. And you got to know, like, who the players are early and who the players have been there all day long. And some days you don't win the race with the fastest motorcycle, and sometimes you control the race with the fastest motorcycle.
How impressive is it to see Tom Drain out there? First time ever racing a twin. I mean, we're not racing yet, but we're out here practicing qualifying. He was really fast in that first practice session.
Yeah, he was, and he did his last lap, which was one of his fastest laps by himself. Earlier before that, he was toting off Jeffrey Carver and was doing a really good job learning some things. And he went by Jeffrey, and man, he set a fast lap all by himself. So obviously, he can do it.
He has, some road racing experience in his background. Does that help him on the Springfield mile?
Yeah, maybe a little bit on the field and the drafting, but no, I think his singles racing and his singles craft, I said it earlier, has been light years ahead of others that I've seen. I think on the miles especially, it just seemed like he had a lot of really good racecraft early. And him jumping on a twin and being fast is not really that surprising, but being second fast is.
Carver just smoked the wall. Holy
He
cow.
must have broke or something. What happened?
He smoked the wall. The 123, I don't know.
I didn't see that. What was replay that?
Hopefully we can see that. Watch the 123. He's about the fourth.
Oh, no, he's right here.
Oh, he's the leader.
Oh my goodness. He just came out of there sideways.
Look, the front wheel came up.
And then didn't get, man, that could have been really bad. Good job, Ben Lau, for just being on it.
Well, that reminded me of a crash that your wife had at Indy.
Indy, that was
very similar to that. Like bouncing off the wall right in front of Chase Sconiers.
Yeah, I don't know. He just came out of there super sideways. You can see his track right here on the corner of the screen.
Just pushing the limit too hard into turn two?
Yeah, I don't know. He just didn't get a turn. Like, he didn't have the traction to turn him.
Why wouldn't you back it off right now and go check out your motorcycle?
I think it's Jeffrey, man, and as long as that brake's right there and nothing's hanging off and smoking, he's going for it.
How's he convincing himself right now just to twist that throttle like it didn't even happen?
Experience. I mean,
golly.
Yeah, there's nothing really that frazzles Jeffrey Carver too much, and that's to his benefit.
I'd want to go to the pits and check out my motorcycle, my pipes, my foot peg, my foot.
Well, foot peg's on there. Brakes must be still working. Pipes are intact. We're all set. We're going.
Trent Lowe at the top spot, 3.5.810 for the Honda. You got Ott in second, and Fisher still putting down some laps out here, sitting second right now.
Yeah, they're all really close. 35.8 right now. That's that could be any man's race if you were to line them up. Jeffrey Carver, 35.9, right there in the mix. Drain, 35.9. I mean, the times are really close right now.
Yeah, the title guys, where's the 32 and the 3? 11th and 12th right now.
Surprising, but in a way with Springfield, like I said earlier, testing the track out, maybe trying different gearing, maybe offsets. You know, they took some notes from yesterday's race of trying this and trying that. Maybe they're going back to it. I've done that a lot over the course of my career here with 2 races. The track's usually very similar from one day to the next, so you can really judge your setup on from the previous day for the future. And this is practice and qualifying, but you know, you're looking at the big picture. There's no Triple Crown today, so everything needs to be done in the main event, and there's a lot of time between now and the main event.
Let's talk about that Triple Crown a little bit. I don't know if you talked about it with Kristen earlier. I was outside, couldn't hear anything. That was kind of your brainstorm with some other folks, correct? Are you taking full credit for that, or? Yeah,
I mean, I want to take full credit. There was definitely some big help from the AFT guys on some of the point structures and things like that. But yeah, I came to them and I wanted something different, especially for the events that are being double headers. Obviously, I made Lima a double header this year. So I just wanted the fans to be able to come and see kind of 2 different formats. And I always thought the Triple Crown in other series was pretty cool to watch. And we get to see all the guys race each other 3 separate times, and it means something. And you know, I think the racing was awesome yesterday, and I always thought Lima and Springfield would be perfect Triple Crown format races because the track changes so much at Lima, and you can have a lot of different winners throughout the evening. And with Springfield, with all the drafting, obviously we've seen 3 different winners in 3 different races, so that's exactly what I thought would happen.
That was perfect. And I like how Mission climbed on board. It's the Mission Triple Challenge. I think that it just ties everything together.
Oh, man, Mission, what can we say about them? I mean, they've been so strong of a supporter of flat track and of my personal program over the years. And, you know, they've been doing it for a long time. I don't know, have you ever added up how many thousands of dollars they've put up for those Dasher caches?
Well, you got most of them.
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 years, every race, $5,000 to win. I mean, that's awesome.
And then yesterday they did $2,500 to win the first main, $5,000 to win that second main. So a little extra incentive.
Really made it worth going out there and trying to win race 1 and race 2 and picking up the extra cash.
Here's a question for you. The start maybe not as important on in a mile because you can get to that lead group sometimes pretty easy. But when you come out here, do you really concentrate hard on getting a good practice start?
At Springfield, I never really was had to get a good start. I mean, obviously you went for it, but I knew that, you know, it wasn't as key as other racetracks. And you want to get off the line good. Last thing you want to do, the only thing that's about the Springfield start, as I can say, is that you don't want to overcook it, over-fry your tire. There's been lots of times I've watched guys come off the line and just spin it way up and go from the front line to 9th or 10th. You don't really want to do that. So more than anything, I'd rather focus on just getting off with everybody and getting into the first corner with everybody, and then you're there.
How impressed are you with the 228 Tadman out there? And I like that Chad Coase is kind of showing him the ropes, and then they go out there and they run up front all day yesterday.
Tadman was impressive. Honestly, the first time I ever heard of the guy was when he was out there fast qualifier at Ventura. It was like, who is this guy?
And he's 17. He waited. He didn't go, you know, most people, when you turn 16, you want to go pro. He waited a little bit longer. And he was ready.
I was impressed, really impressed. The style he had was a lot different. He carried lots of corner speed, which was cool. He wasn't shifting and banging off the rev limiter. He won Ventura and Chico just different than everybody else did. And that was really impressive.
Completely different racetracks, too. I mean, there was, you know, the only comparison is they're round. I mean, seriously,
they were dirt.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean,
different types of dirt.
Yeah, and he'd never ridden at Chico before, and I was like, okay, I give him a little credit in Ventura because he's raced there before. We got red lights on, red wheel lights are on. Try to figure out what's happening here. There's our flagman working the infield. There are red wheel and lights on all the way around there. Oh, it is a red bike. That's one of the Turner bikes.
Porter.
It is Walker Porter. I don't see his motorcycle. I see the rider. Looks like he's shaking things off. Looks like he got some soil sampling.
Yeah, he did. It does look like he went down, but man, what an odd place to go down at. I mean,
over there by where Jeffrey Carver hit the wall.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see his motorcycle.
The hay bale's there. That's halfway down. Ooh,
oh,
he had to have gotten on a high-speed
wobble. The bike
wobble.
is way down the straightaway, but Walker is up and okay.
That's
I know
good.
The family's here, I'm sure, and people at home, but Walker's up and walking around, but that motorcycle is right in the middle of the back straightaway.
Let's see what happened here.
Well, that is not good. I don't know if we'll have anything they're searching for it, but yeah, he is all the way. I thought it was closer to coming off of turn 2, but you're right. He's at the
halfway down the
point.
straightaway, so I mean, maybe got in a wobble.
we're going to strain our eyes and see what we can find out. It's way down at the end of the straightaway, so we'll see if we can watch. Oh, he's already down.
He's already down, yeah.
He's halfway down.
Something tells me he got tangled up in a wobble, but man, what a tumble. So glad he's walking around.
Yeah, he was going good in that first practice session, too. He was flying.
He was. Hopefully
Tell me, you've been around for a long time. How much have these airbag suits saved our riders?
They're definitely the way to go. I mean, you know, thanks to the Alpine Star technology, they've done an impressive job. I mean, when I first got an airbag suit, I just was unaware of how the algorithm was going to work with flat track, because we make really quick, abrupt sideways, snap sideways, and of course jumping. And you know, I mean, a couple times mine went off racing, maybe twice in all of my career of using it, which is a pretty good ratio, honestly.
Right.
And the one time it went off, it was on the victory lap, or it was on like a victory lap, and I went to go and try to do a wheelie. So the sudden jerk of the handlebars, the thing went off, and it scared the daylights out of me.
Oh, I bet.
So
what does it feel like when it goes off?
It's just really loud and just really quick, inflates you. You know what I mean? So it startles you really quick, and it's so loud. I mean, everybody that has one really should go to like one of their trade shows and let them set it off, because they have them where you can put them on and they'll set them off for you.
Oh.
And setting them off is it just really startles you.
Does it take your breath away?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't collapse, or it doesn't like it doesn't push in that hard. No, it kind of like just blows your bag up. You know what I mean? Blows your leathers up a little bit.
Wow. As Walker Porter went down the back straight, this is the 10-time champ, Jared Meese. Man, thanks so much for stopping by the booth, man. What does your day consist of now that you're not riding? I mean, what are you going to do the rest of the day? You
know, once the gates open up, it's kind of like my job is almost done until we're done, like later. You know what I mean? Like until the races are over, I'm just kind of floating around and yeah, I'm in here messing with you, you know. So
yeah.
Helping Nicole out, putting out some fires here or there. But so far we've been last couple of days been running really smooth, and like I said before, I've got a really good crew and everybody understands their position really well, and I'm more or less like the day before and setup guy, you know, and that's my role is more important during the day.
Before we let you go, I got another question coming from that little guy on the other side of the truck over there. So what is your magic? How do you attack turn number 4 on the last lap of the Springfield Mile?
If you're in a battle?
Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah.
Last lap, I mean, you got to, like I said earlier, you got to know if you really have the muscle to come off turn 4 and beat them to the line. But I usually like leading it going into 3 and coming off 4 in the lead, because I could, you know, you got one move you can do, and I was able to control that. So that was always my key.
You wanted to lead off of 4?
More times than none, I always wanted to lead off 4, just because I felt like I could go into 3, always cut a really fast corner and have separation coming off of 4, and that usually would get me to the line. And it seems like in today's motorcycles, with how fast they accelerate, you're better off actually leading off 4. It seems like the last lap drafts were really more key with the XR 750 days.
That's Jared Meese up here in the booth giving his knowledge. This is what I found interesting yesterday. They have a slow race going. Like, it took them about a half a lap before somebody says, all right, I'm going.
Yeah, they want somebody to be the guinea pig, I guess, you know. It's crazy to me that they want to gaggle up, you know. I think I would want to have some separation. You know, here we go right here.
I'd want to be out there with 2 or 3 guys, but these guys are all lollygagging.
You know, they're all waiting for Drain. They all want Drain to be the guy. I guarantee you.
I see Bruder's back there. He's trying to get with Chad Coast, maybe in Tadman. That might be a smart move.
Yep, they want to play with the big dog. They want to play with Tom Drain.
I've never seen him take this long to start getting up to full speed.
Yeah, I've seen that. When you know who the player is, you want to try to toe off him and try to get a better time. Time isn't really such a big key here at Springfield Mile. I mean, you want to get on the front row, but it's not like you're really fighting for the pole position to get on the groove or something. You really could get the job done no matter where you're at on that front line.
I'd like to ask you one more safety question. I know, like we said, you've been around, you've hit hay bales plenty. Air fence, that saves a lot of things as well, and I think that is amazing that we have those at every single racetrack.
Yeah, as a promoter, you know, it's my job to get the labor, and actually this week I had to get my guys, and we had to help the air fence crew out a little bit, and no one really understands how much work it is to get the air fence here and set up. But man, it's a must, especially here at Springfield Mile, because of how fast they're running. it's really saved a lot of people's lives. It really saved my wife's lives once. So, you know, fortunately, I don't think I've had to hit the thing too many times or maybe brushed it. But having it here is definitely a big safety key. And hats off to everybody that puts that out there for us. And people got to really understand that that's a big thing. And
they're big, they're heavy, they're awkward.
They're awkward. They take a long time to set up. You know, I think from the total setup from start to finish is probably about 8 hours, 9 hours.
For both ends of the track.
For both ends of the track. I mean, and that's
crazy.
with a lot of people's help. I mean,
Right.
we're talking 10 guys at one time helping with this thing. And they're all filled up with leaf blowers, so in between races, they're up there filling them up, keeping them blowed up.
That's a never-ending job.
It's a never-ending job, no.
What about shifting these 450s? I mean, it didn't seem like we started doing that until a couple of years ago, but the 450s really weren't on the Springfield mile until a few years back either. So
I was trying to help Chase Sadoff and Brian Biggle a little bit, you know, last couple of years, and I'm like, man, I raced a lot of 450s in my day on the half miles, and I never shifted them ever.
Right.
But then I started going back and looking at some times, and the times have gotten really fast in the singles class the last couple years, and I'm going to contribute to the shifting. I mean, obviously the performance of the bikes have gotten a lot better, and they're starting to figure setups out. They're running heavy wheels, but I think shifting them allows them to keep the RPMs up and be able to pull off the corner quicker. And as we see at a lot of the half miles, you know, the 450s are faster than the twins, and yeah, the shifting blew my mind when I first seen it.
Yeah, you and I are old school, you know, starting on the road taxes and stuff like that. You never shifted those things. You put in the going home gear and you left it there, but they had enough torque.
Yeah, the road taxes had a lot of torque, and they really weren't they really weren't the funnest motorcycle to shift either. I
right,
mean,
exactly.
You spent more time missing them than you did getting them in, right?
I think the only time I was shifting mine was at Peoria.
Yeah, Peoria. I never rode a road tax at Peoria.
Good for you.
It was before my time. Yeah. I just missed that. I came in right at 2002-3, and the 450s were starting to be very dominant on the TTs.
Right. How about Braden Fanders in his second season, man? He's up front. It seems like no matter where we go, and then he has a couple of get-offs here and there, but
yeah,
he gets right back to the front.
He goes right to the front, and he's really, really fast. And, you know, he's had some get-offs that hasn't really shook him up, so hats off for him to be able to just shake that off and keep moving forward. But he's gaining experience every race. Really good results as an amateur. Used to race up a lot where I grew up racing in Square Deal, Binghamton, New York. One of the best short tracks out there, in my opinion. And he's went up there and kicked some butt up there. Actually, my old buddy Craig Estelle.
He still goes fast.
Still goes fast up there, man. And
he's older than both of us.
He is. He looked and he rides the same. He's got the same looking leathers. He's got the same looking motorcycle.
51.
Number 51.
Yeah.
Great guy. I cut my teeth racing him. I got a lot of laps with him around Square Deal, and he still goes good.
Braden's dad used to race also. He was number 83, and when Braden got his 2-digit number, of course, 88 was his amateur number that was taken. Chase Sadoff has it, so he's running his dad's number. I think that's really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Tom Drain again at the top of the charts. Cage Tatum.
Chad. Teammates second and third right now.
Yep. They had them Husqvarnas running really, really good yesterday. I was really impressed by that.
And, you know, team, you know, working together as a team. I mean, one young kid and one of the oldest guys in the singles class working together, and I think it's a good combination.
I think so, too. They actually created some separation amongst them three, and I think it was main event 2. They got together, and they were to break the pack, so they were able to just kind of work amongst themselves, but Tom still came out ahead.
I just heard from the other side of the truck that Santero's on his second motorcycle already today. So, yeah, and that's not a good feeling when you're out there on a smaller team. You know, you're on your backup bike, and that's all you got. Good
thing you have 2, and good thing we're on the last day, right?
Exactly. And they got a weekend off next weekend before we go to the last race at Lake Ozark. Are you going to that one?
I don't think I'm going to make it. Hayden, my daughter's got a gymnastics competition Friday, so I'm going to go see her win.
She's already you know she's going to win.
You got to be confident, right?
She is good.
Got to be confident.
Does she get to run numbers like in gymnastics? They put numbers on them?
Oh, no. She got to run the leotard with the proper gym and all that.
Okay,
you know, the full team deal.
All right. Group number 2 rolling onto the racetrack. The 249 Skylar Sintel. The 46 from Kansas is Reese Podorf. 132 Bronson Pierce. 244 Ryder Reese. 94 is Ryan Wells. He's a veteran out here. 23 Aiden Brown. 43 Jacob Vandekoy lost a motorcycle yesterday. The 72 Jess Reynolds made the main event yesterday. That was impressive.
That was awesome. Yeah, she's been working really hard to get into those mains, and what better place than the Springfield Mile?
And here we go with the cat and mouse going on again. 42 is McLean Drucker, 180 Trevor Martin. He was kind of using this as a test session. He's been on a mile before, but was back on a 125, so it's been a little while since Trevor Martin been on a mile. He's a rookie. Brandon Newman, a little guy from New York. He's out there in the 101 of Caleb Martin, another Ohio rider on the racetrack. First round of qualifying for you folks just joining us. Welcome to the Springfield Mile. Jared Meese helping out in the booth right now. Colby's out there trying to find a bike to ride today.
Yeah, groove starting to come back pretty quick here. It's still a little cloudy-like. You can kind of see it's slippery.
Temperature is perfect.
It is. It is. It's kind of got a little overcast right now, which is really awesome for the racetrack to hold that moisture in. Track truck guys are doing an awesome job. But yeah, this is one of the best Springfield miles I've seen.
So Tammy Richmond used to help rookies of 79 now back on track. She wants to say hi to you and me, and she also wanted to know if you're looking for any other tracks to promote besides the Lima and the Springfield Mile.
This time, no. I would, there's a couple that's been on my radar. I really like the Oklahoma City Mile. I think it's a little bit far out of my reach to do something like that, but I always thought that was a really good. I thought the crowd was really good there, and I think that would be a good one to try to bring back. And
please,
I always just had a really soft spot for Hagerstown. I really liked the place. It was always my hometown track growing up in Pennsylvania. I don't know if I could ever pull it off, but that one's always somewhat been on my radar to do.
There you go.
But I'm trying to perfect the Lima half mile and the Springfield mile and get those back up and going really strong.
Doing a great job, you and your entire team. Haven't seen your wife yet this weekend. I know you've been keeping her busy, huh?
Yeah. She's got her job and I have mine, and we don't really cross paths. It's one of those things I say, man, if something, I could never do her job. I don't even know the first step of it.
There you go. Probably good.
Probably, yeah. I can't micromanage.
Comes 90 Newman up the inside, swinging by the 43 of Van de Kooi. There goes the 101 of Caleb Martin. Get in the mix.
Yeah, these guys are just learning amongst themselves.
Newman, Van de Kooi. Skylar Sintel, third-generation racer from up there in Michigan. He's had a good season.
Yeah, he has. He's the Sintels are very, very popular in the Michigan area.
So you're up in Michigan in the summertime, back in Florida in the wintertime. Are you still going back and forth, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty much Michigan just in June and July and a little bit of August when I'm getting ready for this. And I kind of went back and forth in the summertime from Florida to Michigan with Hayden Gymnastics scheduled forces in Michigan or in Florida a lot longer than we probably would like to be. The Michigan weather in Florida the Michigan weather in the summer is
perfect.
Perfect,
yeah.
And Florida is pretty brutal.
You guys still go on that big trail ride?
Oh yeah,
in Michigan.
Oh yeah, it's October, end of October. It's called the Parker Ride. We call it up north ride or the Parker Ride. I've always looked at it as the Scotty Parker Ride.
How cool is it to get invited to go on that ride?
Oh, dude, everybody's invited.
Okay, all right. I thought you were, special invitations were sent out.
No. We used to try to keep it low key, but we want everybody to come and have a good time. It's it's motorcycle riding, and it's a free for all on the trails, and everybody's invited.
All right, so another question from the truck is, on that weekend when you're up there trail ride, how many beers you get drunk that entire weekend?
Man, I have my share for sure. I might switch off the beers for the high test stuff.
Oh, Caleb, man.
Got close.
He was going to the Jeffrey Carver line there for a second.
That turn two, man, it'll sneak up on you quick.
I don't think I ever brushed that wall. I know it's there, but I don't think I ever touched it. Did you ever hit it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, some people hit it on purpose.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the replay. Watch the 101. He's the red.
Yeah,
he was red and blue.
He was just following the number 43, and then right at the last minute there, the 43 turned to head down the straightaway, and it caught the 101 there just by surprise.
Well, and here's another look at the red and the blue.
He's sitting there looking right at 43. See the 43 duck in real quick?
Yep.
Boom, he's left him out to dry.
Yeah. And the good thing is he didn't chop the throttle either. You can't do that because you'll get run over by the guys behind you.
Yeah, good thing he had some separation from the guy behind him, or it could have been bad for that guy.
He's marching his way to the front. He's up to 11th right now. Caleb Martin, the Ohio rider, is behind the 249 Skylar Sintel. Yeah. Jared Love's been having a great season. He's been qualifying well.
He's been solid. He's been there.
Yep. Aiden Brown, the 23 from Walton, Kentucky. He's got a good-looking motorcycle out there. He's up to the 13th spot on the 23 bike.
Yeah. Ryan Wells back in 21. I thought, oh, man, Ryan, he's a past singles champion, and I know that he has the speed to do what it needs to take to get out there and make the main events and run top 5.
It's hard to put things together, on a low-budget team.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely doesn't have the resources that he used to have to get the job done.
Hayden Brown's like, you're swinging back and forth.
Oh, boy.
He's talking to Reese Podorf right there. I don't think they're making plans for later.
I'm probably going to meet at Saputo's later.
Possibly. That place is good. I saw you there last year.
I go there every year.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we were there every year.
It's good. I went there with Tom Seymour, Saddleman Seats and Saddlebags last year. Well, I think that's it for qualifying round number 1. I'm sure you're itching to get out there and get back to work, aren't you? Or you enjoying the air conditioning?
Yeah, it's been great talking to you and Kristen and watching the Springfield Mile from a different perspective. And
we'll let you say goodbye to everybody, and we're going to put you back to work, all right?
Thanks for watching and tuning in, and thanks for having me, Scotty. I appreciate it.
Please
don't make him go to work.
Don't make him go to work. That's the Jammer, Jared Meese. We're going to take a quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, we got 1 round of qualifying in the books. Jared Meese is going back out there to be with you fans. Thanks for coming out to the Springfield Mile. We'll step off here when we come back. 2nd round of qualifying at the Springfield Mile, presented by Drag Specialties.
Flat Track, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing, roars into the 2026 season with a Daytona short track doubleheader, March 5th and 6th, during the world-famous Daytona Bike Week. Witness the heart-pounding, non-stop thrills of incredible bar-banging action as the nation's top riders battle it out under the lights. Don't miss the epic season opener. 2 nights, 1 legendary track, endless thrills. The 2026 season starts here. Lock in your seats at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Before the celebration, before the victory lap, before every turn, every jump, and close call, machines and equipment from the Cat Rental Store build the track where the action unfolds. And because your race day means so much to us, we want you to be the first to know what's next. More locations, fresh look, expanded fleet, better coverage. Get ready for the Cat Rental Store's new...
Back on Track, a Rookies of 79 501c3 charity, was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Check us out on the web at backontrack.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life. Kicker Performance Audio is your fuel for living loud and a proud supporter of American Flat Track, the original extreme sport. 50 years and counting, Kicker has been the world leader in audio gear for cars, trucks, motorcycles, and America's roads. Kicker Audio is living loud. Hey race fans, are you looking to take your welding skills to the next level? Trust Lincoln Electric, a leader in welding solutions for over a century. From top-notch equipment to innovative technology, Lincoln Electric powers your projects with unmatched reliability and performance. Elevate your craft with Lincoln Electric, where quality meets innovation. Visit LincolnElectric.com today. For over a decade, Dunlop has supported all progressive American flat track classes with their premier flat track tires. Designed for professional and amateur riders alike, Dunlop's DT4 has an aggressive tread pattern, is available in multiple tread compounds, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of progressive American flat track. Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help take your race day to the finish line. Now that's too fast, too tasty. Racing is all about performance, speed, precision, and pushing the limits. Aeroflex brings that same mindset to liquid packaging with a design that's lighter, tougher, and better for the planet. Simply tear the tab, squeeze, and experience a better way to package liquids.
Before the celebration, before the victory lap, before every turn, every jump, and close call, machines and equipment from the Cat Rental Store build the track where the action unfolds. And because your race day means so much to us, we want you to be the first to know what's next. More locations, fresh look, expanded fleet, better coverage. Get ready for the Cat Rental Store's new.
It all comes down to this. Progressive American Flat Track storms into Lake Ozark Speedway for a championship showdown on Saturday, September 13th. Experience the annual Lake of the Ozarks Bike Fest. Concerts, great food, spectacular views, fireworks, and championship racing. Special ticket packages available for Hog members. Kids 12 and under get in free. Don't miss the Arby's Lake Ozark Short Track presented by Arrowhead Brass. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Welcome back to the Springfield Mile number 2, presented by Drag Specialties. It's day number 2 because yesterday was a Mission Triple Challenge race. Joining me in the booth now is Colby Carlisle. Colby, we're taking a look back at all the action that happened yesterday, but man, where you been all day? I mean, I thought you got replaced.
Been filling out job applications. You guys left me to dry.
It wasn't my idea. We had Kristen was in my spot. Jared Meese was here, and we have to learn a little something about what goes on behind the scenes.
No, it's good. It's good to have Jared in here and all the guests that we have, and Jared's got so much insight to what's going on, so that's pretty fun for you guys.
It was fun. We had asked him a lot of crazy questions, and we did a little track maintenance right now. We've had one round of practice, one round of qualifying today. Let's take a look at yesterday, Mission Triple Challenge. Let's look at the singles class first. Drain was on fire. All he had to do yesterday was finish 7th to win the championship. He went out there and was on the gas.
Showed up asking who's going to get second, and he just had it down going.
Drain was on that Yamaha number 59. Bruner was up there looking good. Fanders was there for a while. And I was also impressed with the 228 and the 49. Tadman on the 228. Coase on the 49. Seemed like they worked together all day long to make their way towards the front.
Yeah, and it really was the 21 of Bruner and Tadman that had the realistic opportunities at winning, as Drain will win that first main event there in that one.
That was main event number 1. This is main event number 2. Again, triple challenge. 3 main events for both of our classes. Drain grabbed another hole shot, and we thought that'd be all we'd see, but here comes the 228 of Tadman.
Yeah, and it was just those two for a long time, mano-a-mano going out there, but then his teammate Chad Coase will march up to the front with 1 lap to go in this one.
Drain would lead him into the first corner. Tadman was looking back a little bit early on, and maybe he was looking for his teammate to get up there, and here comes Chad Coase, and they take him down the back straightaway, and Chad Coase got by Tadman going into 3 and would take the 2nd spot, and Tadman was 3rd in main event number 2, which paid double points. And now here is main event number 3 of the Mission Triple Challenge, another hole shot by the 59 bike.
Yeah, every hole shot all day long, just starting to make his job easier, even though he had such a great machine under him. But in this one, it was a little bit dicier as Fanders there goes down going into turn 3, which brings out a red flag and kind of restacks this one, but it's Drain to the point. And there's the 3 guys that really had the chance at winning this last one is Tadman and the Bruner 21 there, gets shuffled back just slightly.
And Fanders started at the back of the pack, got to the lead group pretty quickly, and was up there with the top 5. There was 8 of them for a while, then it narrowed down to 5.
Yeah, and really it was these 3, though, at the point there. They were the ones that were leading this race throughout, but none of them were able to do anything with it. Tom Drain will grab the win, even though Bruner drafts to the line, but that's Drain winning the race and the championship.
The first rider not from America to win the championship. Here are the points after yesterday. Tom Drain locked up the championship. He has 6 wins on the season. Bruner moved into 2nd. Chase Sadoff was here just watching after crashing at Peoria, so Sadoff is slid down to 3rd. Santero's in 4th, and Tadman solidly in 5th.
Skipping most of the first races of the season, too. Tadman really going at it. Got a shot at getting up to 4th.
Yeah. He's got, with today's race looking very strong on that Husqvarna, and he's got, the race in 2 weeks, the last race of the season, Lake Ozark short track. And he won 2 short tracks already.
Just such an amazing rookie standout year for him. And then just watching him progress through the day yesterday, how fun was that?
Yeah, a few rookie mistakes, like looking back maybe in the wrong time. I mean, I know it's hard. He was looking for his teammate. I understand why he's doing it, but just part of the learning process, getting on a mile for the first time, drafting with your teammate, having somebody to work with, that's all learning.
Yeah. And he went to school so much, being able to sit there behind the champion, Tom Drain, and just try to learn. And sometimes he had so many guys learning with him, but sometimes with just Tom, he could kind of really focus on that. But big day for him and a big career coming up for him in the future.
I wonder if he's still auditioning for next year. Have we even heard? Is he on that team for next year? Have we heard anything about that yet?
I don't know, but he is definitely one of the riders that I would want to get if I win the Powerball tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow now?
It's tomorrow.
You didn't win it last night?
Nah.
So it's Monday or Sunday? What day is it?
I don't want to tell people.
Oh, stop bragging then, all right? Mission Super Twins also had the Mission Triple Challenge yesterday. Here's a little look back from yesterday. This is main event number 1. Jeffrey Carver Jr. looking pretty strong in the 123, but Dallas Daniels grabs the whole shot on the 32 Estenson Yamaha.
Yeah, and it's going to be Trent Lowe, been fast all day as Davis Fisher blows an oil line there coming off the corner and puts oil down the track, and that'll stop the races and get a restart here. Carver still out front in this one.
Remember, Breyer started deep in the field. He had to come from the last chance qualifier just to make it into the first main event. He would thread the needle, work his way up to 6. You can see that Honda was just so strong yesterday. But here comes the 19, James Ott.
Yeah, and James Ott and Trent Lowe were really the anomalies yesterday. They've been fast on the miles throughout the year, but James Ott picks up the win here in this one.
On the little team that could, the G&G Yamaha team, and he was emotional about that win, but another guy getting in the mix. Here comes the 48, Trent Lowe.
Yeah, and very unable to bring those times. I mean, he had those times all day throughout practice and qualifying yesterday, and he's done the same thing really so far here today. He's been so fast. Just played his cards right as we get a little contact
bump
there from Carver and Ott.
And that's, you talked to Ott. He actually kicked the downshifted right there. He thought he was downshifting the motorcycle, actually kicked it into 5th gear, so he was lugging a little bit after that. That would open up the door for the 48 to win. Main event number 2 in the Triple Challenge with Breyer a close second, but man, he was so fired up after he won that one.
Oh, so excited. excited to be able to win a race here at Springfield Mile. And coming into the third one, we thought Briar Bauman had been climbing all day, working his way from that bad qualifying, being the LCQ, to leading up in front of the main event here. But it's Dallas Daniels who also climbed a long ways from that second main event to give him a better setup.
The 2 points contenders, the 3, Briar Bauman was the points leader coming in. The 32 was right there, 11 points behind. Off of turn before, here they come. They fan out 4 Yamahas. In the top 4 spots, Briar Bauman goes back to 5th, but Dallas Daniels wins his first ever Springfield Mile in the Premier Class.
And he was very emotional too, being just down the road.
Points look like this now. Only 2 points between Briar Bauman and Dallas Daniels coming into the today's race here. That's round number 15. 7 wins for Briar, 6 wins for Dallas, and the only other rider that's won this season so far is Brandon Robinson. So we have 3 different winners. That's the fewest we've ever had in one season leading up to the final 2 races. Ott with that to finish gets up to 7th. And here are the title contenders sitting right there side by side. Briar Bauman with a 2-point advantage on the number 3 Harley Davidson. 32's Dallas Daniels from Mattoon, Illinois. The other Harley Davidson in this first group is the 44 Brandon Robinson, because there's actually another Harley Davidson in that second group. So we'll talk about them in just a second. Yesterday we had 21 riders. We're down to 19. We take out Jared Meese, who had a mechanical. Dalton also a mechanical. Maxwell is not racing with us today. But we add the 59 of Tom Drain on the other Estenson Yamaha.
And you got, how has Tom Drain been looking in that second session? I was kind of looking away from it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Up to 5th, was he?
He was.
I think he was
up there. Yeah, he was up there. So Tom Drain never has ridden a twin before, and you know, some people say, why are we doing it here at this track? I think it's because this track, as weird as it may sound, it's the fastest track, but it's symmetrical. It's easier to ride than maybe some of the other racetracks.
Yeah. No, it definitely can be a little bit just more consistent. The track, you know what you're going to get here at Springfield. Now, the biggest variable for him is learning how to actually race a twin against these guys in this class. And we've seen at times where some of the older veteran riders haven't been as happy with the younger guys moving up into the class because they don't have quite the experience. And these twins suck you into the draft harder than the 450s do.
Set to roll onto the racetrack again. 2 groups. We have 1 more round of qualifying. Then we'll get into a little bit of an open paddock area. Right now it's scheduled from 12:30 until 1:20. Opening ceremonies coming up at 1:30. We're on Central Time for you folks that are tuned in on Flow. And then we'll get into our heat races, our last chance qualifiers, our challenge races, and then our main event. So we are on the normal format here today.
Gonna get them all fired up right now. Get ready to go out for our final qualifying session. It's been interesting watching all the different theories and practices these guys have of where they want to go out. Davis Fisher was out in that front group, actually brought his way to the front group, and they had that KTM going really good so far today. So crossing the fingers there for that one and that team.
He's sitting up there 3rd right now. You mentioned Tom Drain. He is in 5th with a 3.5.972. So this is the final round of qualifying. Mission Super Twins Group number 1 rolls on to the racetrack.
Breyer's going out just behind that first 4 riders, kind of towards the front of this group. Some of the faster riders traditionally in the points standings.
Dallas just let off the throttle a little bit, so little cat and mouse going on. Maybe he wants to work with somebody, and look who's right behind him, the 3 bike of Briar Bauman.
Yeah, Breyer's got a good group of guys in front of him, but it's those guys way, way, way in the back. I believe that's Trent Lowe and James Ott deep in the field.
Did you see Jeffrey Carver smoke the back straightaway wall coming up at 2?
Wheelied.
And then, wheelied off of it. Yeah, that was crazy. And then never let off the throttle.
Yeah, Jared made a good point, though, saying like that doesn't quite affect us racers as much as you would think, especially a guy like Jeffrey. Different breed. He's got a different mindset than a lot of us do when it comes to this sort of thing. So just kind of take a quick second and just go right back to it. I mean, it was weird. I mean, there's a couple people smoked the back straightaway wall.
Trevor Martin got up there, no, it was Caleb Martin got up there really close to it on that the singles class.
Yeah, he kind of could see too a little bit, and he was in a line of them. There's Henry Wiles, Dan Bromley, and James Ott. Actually, so Trent Lowe's way back by himself. I thought James was with Trent.
I think that might be a better dancing partner, but Ott's trying to go around the 62.
Ott's been strong, though. He hasn't really needed much drafting with that bike. The G&G Racing Yamaha 750 is so fast, but Trent Lowe's been impressive as well. Just he has been by himself. He hasn't needed anyone else to ride with, and Davis Fisher, see him going around the bottom here. And Briar Bauman not quite on the back wheel. He's outside of drafting distance right now. He's going to need a He's maybe just catching a little sniff of it there on the straightaway, but he's going to have to really run through these corners to get to the backside of Vanderkoy.
He's having a better run right now. They were the championship contenders were 11th and 12th in that first qualifying session. Right now they're sitting 2nd and 4th with Daniels in 2nd, Briar Bauman in 4th.
Yeah, and look at that, all by himself already up front, mid-35s, 35.7.
That's the G&G Yamaha.
That's fastest overall as well.
New quick time. The 19 bike goes to the top spot, 3:5.749. He's tracking down the riders just ahead of him. If he can catch a sniff of that draft, that might pull him a little even faster.
Brackley Racing Crew there with Davis Fisher. They said they were up until 3 a.m. this morning, 3:30 a.m., getting those bikes ready for Davis to work, and it has worked out so far, at least in that first session.
Do they have one bike or they got two?
They had two sitting there. I don't know if they both run, but one's going good right now, though. And Davis Fisher's a very good Springfield Mile rider. We've seen him on the podium here a few times throughout his career, but there we go. Trent Lowe by himself up to 3rd. And Briar Bauman's kind of caught up to that pack. He's been able to get by Vanderkoy. Now is he going to be able to catch up to the backside of Robinson?
We saw some tire testing going on last night after the races were over, and that was Jared Meese, and he had some fun out there, but unfortunately Meese broke his bike that he was riding yesterday, so he is a spectator today, just like you and I are, Colby.
Yeah, and that grouping of 5 right there, it's interesting. That's the oldest group of riders that we have, really, besides Henry Wiles. All the rest of them are new to the Twins class, whether they've been here for 1 season or 2, but that grouping of 5 minus Bender are the most experienced ones we have. With Wiles and Vanderkoy's down, and he's he lost the chain.
Chain's off.
Man, what is going on with these chains?
I don't know, but it's just hanging from the back of the motorcycle.
That is what happened to Trent Lowe. Yeah. Have you ever seen the chains here?
Not on a mile. Not on a mile. I don't know if it's because we got so much traction or what, but yeah, he's going to take. There's a little cut in the guardrail on that back straightaway, and he's going to try to get that thing woe down. You know, I was good and bad about Trent Lowe when his chain came off yesterday. It's a good thing he didn't blow up the motorcycle, but bad thing the chain come off, and that could be very, very dangerous. He knew it was coming. He knew something happened right there.
A lot of these Twins don't run chain guides either, which.
Why not? Are you trying to be light?
I don't know what the mythology is behind that and why they don't. I would want to run one.
Well, especially after what we've seen yesterday and now today.
I even, on my 450s that I inherited in 2017, they'd cut the chain guides off of those. And I'd never liked that. I luckily never had a chain issue, but you're a lot more vulnerable for it if you do take those off. But here we are still going with it.
I kicked my own chain off when I was riding a Yamaha at the Del Mar mile, but it was a deep cushion mile racetrack, and my foot went back and kicked my own chain off. But I've not seen them come off like we have today and yesterday. Briar and Brandon are talking, sign language. They're good friends. They're not mad at each other, but they're talking things over.
They're saying how the other bikes are just so much faster. The production bikes were. Well, I mean,
you read their hand
shouldn't
signals?
say production bikes. When I say production bikes, I mean all the Japanese inline twins. The Harley Davidson, we'd seen them struggle early on this year. DeCoin, they just haven't had the straight line speed, and right there, Briar was kind of just waving off to him. And that's a very frustrating thing. Briar, he came into here wanting to just be able to sit on the backside of him on the straightaway, which he really had yesterday.
Here they are talking about
a little
things.
sign language, but yeah, that's just.
I'm glad you could understand what they were saying.
Maybe we're talking chattering. I don't know.
I don't know. Now they're both looking down. Maybe the bike's getting hot.
Maybe I was off.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking.
I don't know. I thought at first they were saying bye to the other twins, but.
I wonder if they have the cardio systems. They're talking to each other like like you have one.
You always say making dinner plans.
Yeah,
or something?
making plans for dinner. Exactly. Here comes group number 2, last group for qualifying in the Mission Super Twins. Look at that. Somebody's having some fun on the back wheel. Also, we got the 25. He's out there. That's Ben Lau. He is on the Schaefer's Motorsports Ryan Barnes Racing backup bike to Logan McGrain. So he hurt his motorcycle yesterday, and now he's hopped up. He found himself a ride.
Tom's going out there again with Price and Carver. Man, I don't know if I think I'd chill a little bit with that one.
Find a different group to ride with.
Not my drafting partners of choice necessarily, but that's definitely the fastest guys in this group.
It's good to see Cam Smith back out here at the Springfield Mile, the 34 bike, and here comes Jeffrey Carver, the 123. Right behind him is Drain. Drain's around the bottom going into 3. Then drifting up a little bit. There's Brandon Price. Had a good day yesterday. Got 2nd overall on the Henderson Racing Yamaha, the bike he'd never even ridden before.
Briar back in 9th right now. That's going to be a 2nd row starting spot For Briar Bauman, already going to be on the back row, but luckily he'll probably be back row inside.
Didn't seem to bother him too much yesterday when he started in the 3rd row.
Can't let it bother you if you don't have a choice, right?
Exactly. You got to just make the best of it. Here comes 59, getting the sniff of the draft of the 123 up the inside. Drain making the pass on Carver.
Yeah, Tom Drain's going to be good today on this bike as long as he can get acclimated to it quickly. His body is so small, so he's going to cut through the wind so fast.
I was surprised, you know, like we knew he was going to try to ride the 59, but I didn't think he'd try to do both classes.
Yeah, and they haven't committed yet to doing both classes. He could still decide at any time if he just wants to focus on one. But so far, it's going so good. So we'll see. We'll see what decisions they make here after qualifying. But man, he's been doing a really good job on this twin. And knowing these kinds of riders, after he's been out on the twin, he's not going to want to give this up.
Oh, I wouldn't either. And then what do? Do you let him ride it again at Lake Ozark? I mean,
well, that was mentioned, but too, this is such a challenge for Tom, being out there with this experience to guys, and he can learn so much. Where the singles class is still a challenge, but he was able to sweep the day yesterday. He's already won the championship. This is a true, real challenge for him today, something he's never dealt with racing these guys on this motorcycle here at Springfield. So I'd go with this.
He's maybe never raced any of these guys out here. I mean, maybe a few of them.
Definitely not here. I mean, he's raced some of them like Outlaws. He's probably raced Trent Lowe multiple times. And he's raced him on the singles, but you're exactly right. I mean, this is just such a new experience, and we asked a little bit. We didn't have super good information on it, but he's only ridden a twin at least 1 or 2 times on a short track back in Kentucky.
Yeah, exactly. So first time on a big bike on a big racetrack. Talking about the 59 of Tom Drain, currently 6th in this session, which is also 6th overall. The 59 bike. He's got the 123 Jeffrey Carver right behind him, who's currently 11th overall, or 11th in this session.
Tom's kind of pulling up there.
5th overall. Carver had a good session earlier before he hit the wall. He was up to 5th. So Briar, you know,
it's gonna be neat to see if Tom, he's kind of backing out of it a little bit. I'm not sure. Yeah, now he's backing in. All right, so he's going to go with Price here. I was hoping he would hop in line with Price for a second. I wasn't sure if he was backing out of it.
Well, we saw him do this exact same thing on the single yesterday, but he was trying to get behind a big group of riders.
Yeah, and look at that. I mean, doing the same kind of thing, just going right back by. That was deep. Actually, I was surprised he was able to get that draft in because he was so far back on the straightaway. But like I'd mentioned, he's so small. He's going to cut through the wind so quickly. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get a draft coming in here on Carver. I wonder if he's too far back. No, he's starting to sniff into it. He will not finish it. There he does. He's going to finish the pass. This could be a very fast lap from the 59 of Tom Drain coming up.
Oh, he didn't get to make the pass all the way in front of Carver, but now he'll have him to draft off of on the front straightaway.
Yeah, unless he spun up too much in that corner. We'll see what happens here. He's going to pull out of the draft. Not going to get it a little bit. Let's see what it is. It is right to third. Man,
you called that one.
And he spun it up in that corner a little bit too.
That's 3rd in this session, but he's still 5th overall. Now he's got the 123 dragging behind him, and here comes the 92 of Price. Maybe these three can work together.
Tom's wise. Tom is very wise
for being so young. Yeah. He's got it figured out.
And that does improve. It doesn't improve his overall time positioning, but it did improve his overall lap time there. Let's see what he's able to do here by himself.
3:5.749 is Ott, who's in that first group. He will be our fast qualifier today. Impressive. Your old motorcycle.
I think I qualified 2nd on it once. It was the best I ever did.
So you're saying he's doing good today?
He's doing great.
We do have an open paddock area coming up as we take a look at the results from round number 2. James Ott, 3:5.749, who ended up 3rd yesterday. Dallas Daniels, who got the win yesterday, 2nd. Tom Drain, 3 Yamahas this time, 1, 2, and 3. Trent Lowe is 4th in this session. He will be 2nd overall. Robinson is 5th in this session. Declan Bender, Briar Bauman, our points leader, back in 7th. Brandon Price, Davis Fisher, 9th in this session. Henry Wiles rounds out our top 10 in session number 2 of qualifying. So we got an open paddock area scheduled right now until, it looks like right before opening ceremony. So the open paddock area is happening right now, the fan walk. If you'll come on down to the pits, there's a tunnel underneath the main grandstands. There's also a tunnel underneath turn number 1. We'll have the fan walk going on from 12:30 until 1:20. And at 1:30 p.m. is opening ceremonies. After that, we'll get into our qualifying heat races. So, well, actually, we got singles coming up, man. I'm all excited. I was ready.
I was like, ready. Man, we starting the fan party without us?
Oh my gosh, I was ready for the fan walk.
So what did you see here when I was gone?
I saw the 100 crash down the back straightaway. I don't know how that happened.
Well, you didn't see it. You heard about it.
We saw parts
man,
of it.
Good thing, though, that was a nasty spot, and let's see if he comes out here. Yeah, he is. Thank goodness, man.
They're not playing around this time. The 49 and the 228 took off immediately, so everybody's going to go see if they can catch them. Nobody's lollygagging this time.
Yeah, let's see.
That's what I saw last time was a whole lot of lollygagging.
I was telling you, we got to implement some kind. We got to get these kids going at least by the back straightaway. You gotta have your bike wide open by the back straightaway. We can't be cruising off into 3 and 4.
Yeah, they were lollygagging, run at the very back of the pack, and now they're out there showing the way.
I was over there before we started today talking with Cage and my old mechanic Andrew and Chad. And so Chad and Cage, man, a lot of coaching there. And they say Cage is like a sponge. He will absorb all this information, and he listens very good, and he actually does it. So if you tell him something, he'll listen to you and actually implement it, where a lot of kids will just in it one ear out the other. But no, Cage wants this. And here we are. I love how Chad's kind of been coaching him here and saying, hey, let's go out just me and you this time. Instead of lollygagging like the rest of them, they go all the way out in the front.
Chad Coast on the 49, 228 is Tadman. They're leading the way, trying to set the fast times right now. They're breaking away, 2 riders.
That's what they get for not waiting. And I would have wanted to get out here. Yeah, they're not in a huge group like they were the first time me and you were sitting there watching it when Jared and Christian were here. They were 3 by 3 by 3 going into the first corner for the first time.
Nuts. Like
then we saw these 2 way out in the back by themselves.
I'd like to get spaced out a little bit, maybe find a group of 5, but these 2 are trying to pull away from everybody else right now. Coast quickest in this session.
Slower.
Fanders goes to the top spot. The 83 on the KTM now moves to the top spot. 37.270, but he's still 5th overall.
Track's significantly slower right now, about half a second. And Chad hasn't had the opportunity to get by Cage yet. He's having a hard time drafting him, and he said that this morning. He said, I really can't get by Cage.
Is that
because Cage is so much smaller?
That's what I was getting ready to ask.
Chad's a skinny rider, very, very skinny, but he's tall, a little bit taller in stature. Cage is so short and skinny, and he gets down really, really low on the motorcycle.
Yeah, he tucks in really small. They used to say get under the paint. Well, in these 450s, you're getting under the plastic.
Yeah. Cage actually is holding he's really holding the radiator shroud. He's actually not even holding the fork.
Everybody's got a little different style. I know back in the day, some people put their hand behind them. I wouldn't want to do that.
We're also out there with no Tom Drain as well, just to note that.
He's still fast time.
Yeah,
overall.
And the team's got the infrastructure there to know, like, hey, you probably don't need to go out in this one because the track's getting slower. But the track was faster for the twins, so kind of a roll of the dice. But he knew he probably had a spot in the front row, and really that's all you need here is a spot in the front row.
Or maybe he's just going to focus on the twin.
There you go.
We don't know that. Speculating from up here. This is a good little 4-way battle. Fanders, Santero on a second motorcycle. He blew up one of his bikes earlier as what got poured from the other side of the truck. Jared Lowe, the 63, and also there's the 26 of 8 of Maroose Evans. It sounds like they're taking off, like
an airplane, like an air show.
Yeah, it's amazing. Santero leading this group right here. Fanders right behind him. Maroose Evans. Jared Lowe lost touch with that group down there in 3.
There's definitely, you asked Jared a question about how long it took him to learn a mile. There's so much strategy and so much to learn. And just me and Jared were actually kind of talking mile theory a little bit this morning, just different things that could have been done yesterday that we saw from our perspective, which is easy to do looking back at it and looking at it from our angles. But some of the things that I even see here, just watching some of these guys, they have so, like, they're going to pick up so much throughout their careers. Like Fanders, he's really new on these miles, and last lap coming off his corner.
Maroose Evans put his hand up. He's trying to wave to everybody. He's having an issue.
Might have something on the racetrack.
He's letting everybody know something's going on. He was waving pretty frantically. Jared Lowe slowing down already, too.
Liquid coming out because he wouldn't across the group like that, I would hope.
Maybe his chain's off. Maybe it's on the track somewhere.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what he's doing either. That was a checkered flag, though, so like Tadman.
I want to see a 120-foot road gap that he was talking about.
Yeah, I want to see him jump that far, too. So
I'll have to go see if I can get a video.
I'm looking to see if there's a chain down here in 3 and 4, because that's where he let up. That's where, you know, Roost 7's went off the groove down here, but I don't see anything on the track.
Yeah, and I would think that if he was leaking something, he would definitely not go across the groove, but who knows, Scotty? One more group.
Crazy things happen. We got one more group to go in qualifying. Then we'll have the open pit walk down there. You can go underneath the grandstands, right, the center of the grandstand area, or there's a tunnel outside turn 1 and 2. You can walk through that one as well, though cars can go through that one, so that's the safe way to get there. But we'll do that in just a little bit. One more group to go. There goes Joe Roost Evans right there. Maybe he's going to check out and see what was going on the racetrack.
Got to go find the chain. Oh,
if that's
careful,
what happened. That's the Belleville Enduro Club out here. We're doing the yellow flags.
Aiden does a lot of riding.
Yep. Here's the second group. Again, I think they're probably checking on seeing what Aiden was talking about out there on the racetrack. Hopefully it wasn't anything crazy. Group 2 getting ready to roll. His teammates out there, the 132 Bronson Pierce, used the provisional yesterday to make it into the main event. All right, here comes Group 2. This is it for practice and qualifying today. A lot of the 3-digit numbers out there. This is their first time on a mile. Aiden Brown puts it on the back wheel in the 23.
You know what Jared was talking, you know how Jared mentioned about the dust on the back straightaway the first lap?
Kicking it up.
So terrifying.
Yeah.
And you knew it was coming.
Oh, yeah.
And I get why you would do it, to separate the field a little bit. But so seriously, you'll go through 1 and 2, and you just know that coming on this back straightaway, Brian or Jared's going to go all the way up the wall and shoot the dust. So it's just a cloud. So you just,
it's just like Days of Thunder.
Yeah,
you
got to trust to go through it, just like the smoke in Days of Thunder. And then people do some stuff like that at Sacramento Mile. They'll put their foot on that inside berm to cook dust onto the groove behind you.
That's what I told him about. He said he never did that. I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah, the dust on the back straightaway Springfield Mile, it was a little terrifying if you're deep in the field.
It's no joke.
You'll roll out of it, especially if you don't know it's coming.
It is no joke. Last group, there's Jess Reynolds. I was proud of her yesterday, put it in the main event. There goes Ryan Wells. He's won out here a couple times. The GNC2 class. There she is. Jess Reynolds, the 72 bike. Pennsylvania rider.
I think when he won, it was production twin. It was GNC2, but it was on a twin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he ever won on a 450.
Just around the bottom of the racetrack down here, the shortest way around down there by the guardrails. She doesn't have anybody to draft with. She's currently 16th. That's good enough. We're going to get into a heat race. Again, completely different format here today. Back to the normal format. Bronson Pierce tucks in, trying to keep up with Jess.
This group didn't want to do much drafting.
No, they're not working together at all. At least the top 5 aren't.
Got to draft in the 450 class. You can get away with it in the twins class if you got a really fast bike like Trent Lowe has, but in this 450 class, you do need to draft.
Jess Reynolds, last time by for the 72 bike of 38.4 to 03. She goes a little bit faster, 38.374. Jess Reynolds on that 72 bike, currently 16th quick. Skylar Sintel jumps up to 10th. He's 11th overall.
The track looks pretty similar to how it did yesterday. A little more rubber down, I would say, going down, but it's a lot more overcast when I was last out there. And yeah, like Brad said, our producer, it is round.
I think it's an oval. I think he got hit in the head too many times playing football. If you look at it from up above, it's an oval.
The only thing I know about football is Arizona State won yesterday, so we're in good shape.
They have a football team?
38-19.
What? Did their guy with no neck, did he graduate or did he move on?
The Giants.
He went to the Giants?
Yeah, he's their third.
Scatabo?
Yeah, Scatabo.
Scatabo, there you go.
String running back. I've got him on my fantasy team.
Dude, he was awesome.
No neck.
I love watching that guy. He would run over anybody.
He would put Brad to the ground. And he's about a foot shorter.
There's Bronson Pierce. Look at the high line. So is Aiden Brown. Here comes Ryan Wells, the 94, and there's Lightning McLean Drucker, the 42 bike. Here comes a big group of riders off the turn report. Caleb Martin's in there. Reese Podorf in that little group. So is the 244 rider Reese.
still remembering that moment yesterday when Ryder was trying to get people to follow him, and he
they
put
got the
himself
head
into
shake.
a head shake. Woo. Hopefully he went home and watched that video and was like, I'm going to stop doing that one.
Yeah. They'll learn somehow. Skylar Sintel trying to get low. Leading this group of about 4 or 5 bikes in turn number 3. Now Ryder Reese goes up the racetrack. Caleb Martin trying to grim around the outside. Caleb Martin almost hit the wall earlier, but he was like, Reese explained it perfectly. Like he was following the 43. The 43 turned at the last second. The 101 just had the momentum.
And he just couldn't see either. Right. Because he was so tucked in already that he was just looking at the rider's back wheel and back side of his body.
Raymond Rizzo throwing the flags right there, the white flag out. Last lap qualifying just about done.
Caleb Martin taking a peek over, checking out Podorf's gearing, it looked like.
Hey, you want to see what tire he's running on the
The
rear?
wrong time to do that.
Aiden Brown trying to get up the inside, trying to make a draft to the start-finish line, see if he can get a little faster lap. Brown currently 20th quick on his Honda. Here comes Martin, Podorf, Ryder Reese. There's the checkered flag. The 101's front fender's dancing around all over the place. Did you see that?
That would annoy me.
Me too. I'd take it off and go get a different one.
Gotta keep him on.
I'd go find a different one.
I'd tighten it up.
Something. Practice and qualifying is all done. Round number 2. It is Brayden Fanders quickest in this round, 3:7.270. Then the first impressions Huskies are back there second and third. Chad Coast, Cage Tadman. Rusev 4th, even though he put his hand up and still finished up. Jared Lowe pulled off early also. He is 5th. Santero, Bruner, Walker Porter, Hunter Bauer. Caleb Martin was in that last group, gets up to 10th in this second round, but he is 12th overall. So Tom Drain, quick time overall. We add up the times from round 1 and round number 2, so Drain will be our pole setter. Practice and qualifying is in the books. Be sure to grab your raffle ticket for Back on Track. Somebody's going to win a brand new Arai helmet here today. Getting the open paddock area going on from 12:30 to 1:20. All right, so Jared Meese was up here for a while, gave Colby a little break, and he left us, and he wasn't done talking, so he found some fans. Let's see what he found.
Want to hand the mic back and forth? You just answer them, all right?
All right, buddy.
All right, sounds good. All right, guys, we're here, Springfield Mile, another fan. What's your name?
Shane Landers,
Shane, where are you from?
Springfield.
You're from right here?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, so famous question. How many years have you been coming to the Springfield Mile?
Ever since it started back up. A lot of years.
Wow. Consistently every year?
My son raced here.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So, okay, right on. Awesome, awesome. I know Chaz.
72.
So who's your all-time favorite here at the Springfield Mile?
Oh, we'd have to go back to Parker.
Yeah, Scotty. He's one of my all-time favorites, too.
Yeah.
How long you been following the sport? I guess, obviously, since...
See, Chaz is 27. 33 years or better, yeah.
Okay, right on. I think me and him are pretty close to the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Cool. Cool. What do you do for a living?
I'm a union iron worker.
Oh, man, you're an iron worker?
Yes.
Oh, explains it. Right on, right on. Do you ride yourself? Do you ride any street bikes yourself?
Yes, Harley Street Glide.
Harley Street Glide? I guess, yeah, with the Harley t-shirt, huh?
Yeah.
Right on. Well, hey, I got a t-shirt for you, XL, from the guys at Klotz Oils. What oil do you guys use in that thing?
Klotz.
You use Klotz in your bike?
Yes.
Seriously? What a fit, right? Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming to Springfield Mile. First.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. After this commercial break, we'll show Springfield Mile 2 from last year, 2024. Go on down to the pits, meet your favorite rider. We got opening ceremonies coming up at 1:30. Have some fun down there in the pit area. Stop by the vendor row, get your T-shirt, get your raffle tickets. A-Bait of Illinois has got raffles. They're going to give away a Harley Davidson right here today. So we'll take a quick break. Opening ceremonies coming up in 1 hour from right now here at the legendary Springfield Mile.